Welcome to Is It Covered, where we break down real stories and answer the big question, is it covered? Hosted by father and son duo Bruce and Brian Chapman of the J.D. Chapman Insurance Agency. This podcast will help you navigate the world of insurance with stories, tips, and answers that really matter. From personal to commercial coverage, we've got you covered. Now, let's get started.
Welcome back to another exciting episode of Is It Covered, the podcast where Brian Chapman and Bruce Chapman from J.D. Chapman Agency talk all about different claim scenarios and if they're covered. Keep in mind that all claims are different. If you happen to experience a claim, which we hope you don't, it's always a good idea to consult with your agent or your company to make sure that it's covered and to find out any details you might need before reporting it. Some things are definitely cut and dry and you want to report them right away. Today, we're going to talk about summer things.
Nice.
Summer things like your kid's lemonade stand. And then another episode, maybe you're riding a motorcycle. But today, Brian, tell us about the lemonade stand.
Yeah, absolutely. So it's that time of season, especially now with it being so hot, you see lemonade stands pop up. So let's put this into perspective. Let's say you've got little Emma, right? And she's an entrepreneur. So she says,
so cute.
Yep. And she says, I'm going to go out and set up a lemonade stand in my front lawn. She's got the signs. She makes all the handmade lemonade. And she's good to go. And it's a Saturday afternoon and people are kind of rolling in and rolling through and she's making money. But what I guess would happen, or let's kind of play out this scenario that one, maybe she didn't know any better and used like rotten lemonades and maybe made some not so good lemonade.
Yuck.
Ended up making the people that were drinking it sick. All her hard work is obviously going to go away because no one's going to come back.
Right.
Or even worse, let's say maybe she had broke a glass in the kitchen and maybe some shards of that glass did get into the lemonade she was selling. And unfortunately, somebody drinks it, ingests it, and it kind of wreaks havoc and there's medical bills. And, that person then comes back to her parents and say, I'm going to sue you, or I've got some bad lemonade from your kid's lemonade stand. How does that work with insurance? Is there coverage, and how would that be covered potentially?
Well, fortunately, Mom and Dad happen to have a homeowners policy.
That's good.
Yeah, that's step number one is to have a homeowners policy or a renter's policy.
Yep.
Because a lot of people that rent, they don't have renters policies. And that's like super cheap and can cover you for a lot of things. So minors that are that on their homeowners, on Mom and Dad's homeowners policy, they're going to be covered for things like that. They're going to be covered for the products that they sell, their lemonade, that sort of thing. And if it's kind of a one-off, no problem. If it's like a business and, it's full-on business,
yeah,
which would be unusual for a lemonade stand, but maybe if you're mowing lawns, it wouldn't be. There might be some issues there. So ultimately, I would say that there's going to be coverage there under the homeowner's policy or a renter's policy, and it would cover any bodily injury.
Okay.
Or let's say Emma had the pitcher and she dropped it and damaged the car. That's property damage. That'd be covered too.
Yeah.
So that big sticky spot on the front of the Porsche there's covered, right?
And that's under the liability portion of these policies, or?
Yeah. Yep. It would be liability. So your liability coverage would cover that.
And so anything that you are, or anything that your kid does that you might be held liable for. So if they were to play baseball in the backyard and smack a ball through somebody's window, those types of things are kind of all fall under that liability?
All day long. I think we're going to find out whether they're covered or not in a minute, but
Gotcha.
All day long, those things are going to be covered. The thing where you might run into problems, as I mentioned before, let's say you're mowing lawns and it's a regular business. You're doing all the neighbors, you're giving them invoices, and that's more than just like kind of a one-off lemonade stand. You throw a rock and you damage something. There's a potential for that not to be covered on a homeowner's policy because it is a regular business and there are business exclusions on most homeowner policies. it's a fine line.
So if you get to that point, let's say your kid gets to the point where they're mowing a bunch of lawns or they have, I don't know, a franchise of lemonade stands or something.
Yeah.
Then they should probably ask their agent, hey, is this something we should put on a commercial policy and have that conversation?
Absolutely. That's worth a conversation for sure. Because, you are responsible for your children.
Right.
And if something happens, you want to make sure that you're covered on that.
Right.
So I guess we come to the point where we ask, is it covered?
I would say that if in this scenario, if little Emma has her lemonade stand and somebody gets injured from one of the lemonade she sells or gets sick, I would say that that's covered.
However, if it's a business like the lawn mowing, I would say it depends.
The famous words.
It depends for sure. Thank you once again for listening to Is It Covered? And we would love to hear your input because, there's only so many scenarios we can come up with. And we would love to hear some real world scenarios. So if you have something, please email Brian at jdchapmaninc.com. We'd love to be able to answer your questions.
Absolutely.
Thanks again.
Thanks, everybody.
Bye.
Thanks for listening to the Is It Covered podcast. To learn more about how JD Chapman can assist you with all your insurance needs, please visit our website at jdchapmaninc.com or call us at 315-986-4062. JD Chapman, we've got you covered. This podcast provides general information only. It does not offer or bind insurance coverage. Coverage cannot be changed or confirmed through this podcast, email, voicemail, or fax. Insurance only takes effect once confirmed by a licensed agent. For specific coverage details, please call us at 315-986-4062. All coverages are subject to the terms, conditions, and exclusions of the issued policy, which may vary by state. This podcast does not provide legal, tax, or financial advice. Please consult a professional for those needs. Links to other sites are provided for convenience. We don't control or endorse their content. Any claims scenarios discussed are hypothetical. Coverage decisions depend on the specifics of each case.